Talk with Andy Kamenetzky.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
Lakers Talk is on. Here's Andy Kamenetzky.
What is up, Laker fans? What a quick turnaround from DeMarco and Travis right to Lakers Talk. I was having like a 30-second conversation with Greg Bergman, and all of a sudden Funchy's waving to me like, bro, we are up and we are live. Thank you to the Lakers Talk faithful, as always, for listening, for watching, for both. We are, as I like to put it, a traveling circus, me, Funchy, and DeAndre, because we are at 710 ESPN, the home of your Lakers, but also the LA Kings and the Rams and USC and NFL Combine, NFL Draft, all LAFC. We got everything right here at 710 ESPN, meaning Lakers Talk has to move about. Different days, different times. We're not always even sure week to week where we're going to be.
Like I said, the ballroom championship. The ballroom dancing championship.
I await and kind of excited, if I'm being honest, for the dog show to one day end up on 710
Westminster,
ESPN.
yes.
I'm a big fan of the Westminster dog show, the kennel, whatever they call it. But all the time, that means different days, different hours. You are always with us, and it is always appreciated. A lot to get into. Today, we are going to get into last night's loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder, 123-87. No real surprise given who was not available for the Lakers, which is roughly everybody. They were missing 4 of the projected normal 5 starters for this team, plus Jackson Hayes against a Thunder team missing just Jalen Williams and also having a legit reason to play. Like, the Thunder are still trying to lock up the number 1 seed because they want the number 1 seed. They've been open about wanting home court throughout the entire playoffs, certainly throughout the Western Conference, and also because the unspoken piece of this, they want SGA to repeat as MVP. They want him to go back-to-back. And if the Spurs somehow pass the Thunder as the number 1 seed, I think there is a real non-0% chance that Wemby will end up MVP. Victor Wembanyama, who, by the way, is the latest victim of the 65-game rule, potential victim. He is missing tonight's game, I want to say, against the Blazers that the Spurs are playing. It is Portland.
Yes.
So he's got a rib contusion. He has one more game that he needs to play at least 20 minutes while dealing with a real injury. This is legit. This is not, finger quote, load management. Or else he will fall short of the 65-game limit, meaning a guy that is the runaway favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year, runaway second for MVP consensus, first-team All-NBA lock. He will also be ineligible just like everybody else. This thing is a mess. But the point being, the Thunder had a reason to play this game with a certain degree of seriousness, even against a skeleton crew Lakers team, which gave the Lakers really no chance of winning. But there were a few bright spots I want to get into and also some drama, namely involving J.J. Redick and Jared Vanderbilt, but also a little bit involving Rui Hachimura, a little bit involving DeAndre Ayton, some potential concerns about J.J. Redick's mindset and mood and intensity heading into the playoffs. So want to talk about that. Going to get into the latest injury updates. Marcus Smart, how close is he to returning to action? The Lakers have desperately missed him while he has been out with this ankle injury. Will Jackson Hayes be back? Will LeBron James be back? Get into all of that stuff. Also give you an update on the Warriors, who the Lakers are going to be playing tomorrow night, and where things stand with them. If you think the Lakers, by the way, are dealing with some injuries, take a look at what the Warriors got going on. I want to also talk about, speaking of injuries, Luka Doncic. It has been reported that he is in Spain. It's actually confirmed that he's in Spain seeking treatment to try to get himself back on the court.
The paparazzi over there have like video of him over there.
Bill Duffy, his agent, confirmed, I want to say to the LA Times, that he is over there. The treatment that he is getting, widely assumed to be PRP, stem cell injections. It's never going to be confirmed by the Lakers, but it is widely assumed that's what he's going to get. It is a very common thing for American League athletes to seek overseas because there are certain things you can do in Europe that are not legal in the States. Luka trying to accelerate his return back to the court, try to be a part of a playoff run for the Lakers. JJ has said right now their goal is to extend the series, extend their playoff run as long as they can to hopefully allow Luka Doncic and maybe even Austin Reaves to return. But want to talk about whether or not this is actually a good idea for Luka in the first place. JJ Redick also said some interesting stuff after last night's game about they are looking right now for the 9 guys that will open the playoffs as their rotation. 9 guys, like last night's game against the Thunder, Sunday's loss to the Mavericks. JJ said at this point they're not even concerned about the seed as much as they are finding those 9 guys. I think 7 guys are a lock. The other 2, I think, are interesting debates, and one guy in particular I think speaks to a very interesting dynamic that I want to get into. Also talk about Brian Windhorst was on the morning show with Cappy and I believe Sedano. I can't remember if George was here or not, but Cappy.
He was there.
Okay, good. And he talked about the Lakers' off-season approach, what he thinks it should be for both LeBron James and Austin Reaves, and how their respective cap holds could affect what the Lakers do. Want to get into that. Also going to be joined at 6:30 by Harrison Faigen, Silver Screen and Roll, SB Nation. He's covered the Lakers for many years, friend of the show. He'll be on at 6:30. And also take your calls, 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-ESPN. Want to hear from all of you. Want to hear from my Walrus, both of my walruses. Want to hear from my walruses that always join me.
Beach Walrus.
Beach Walrus, South Dakota Walrus, my Valley Walruses in Encino. I want to hear from all my Walrus during the next 2 hours. So, again, 877-710-ESPN. But we begin with last night's loss to the Thunder, again, 123-87. Obviously, 36-point loss is asses being handed to them. The line heading into this game, 18.5 points, which is massive, particularly for a road team being the favorite. The Thunder came close to doubling that thing. So, I mean, this was every bit as much of an ass-kicking as you would have expected given the circumstances. But there were a couple positives that I do think are worth noting. First of all, Luke Kennard. 9 assists against 0 turnovers, and this is on the heels of 11 assists versus Dallas against just 3 turnovers. So the last 2 games, he is averaging 10 assists against just 1.5 turnovers. That is very good, and I think very important, because with no Luka and no Austin certainly to start the playoffs, hopefully the Lakers can hang around long enough that at least one can come back, if not both. They're going to need guys other than LeBron and Marcus Smart to handle the ball, to bring the ball up, to facilitate, to make plays. And Luke Kennard showing off this skill, DeAndre, I think it matters. Like, I think this is actually a pretty big deal for the Lakers to try to have as relatively good a chance as possible in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, seeing what Luke Kennard was able to do against the Mavericks, getting that triple-double, getting 16 rebounds, by the way, as well, was really, really good. The only thing that worries me is that the pressure of him having the ball in his hands too much as far as getting them into the offense. He shot 5 of 17 in that game. But in the Oklahoma City Thunder game, like I was in attendance last night, him getting to his mid-range spot, getting to his bread and butter, he still had high rebounding night as well. Like, those are good things to see, and I just can't wait to see Marcus Smart get back into the lineup, and hopefully Lakers can extend their season. Yeah,
Marcus Smart, we're going to talk about at the end of the hour some injury updates, but Marcus Smart, there is some positive news, if not definitively good news, but some positive news, some positive trends we'll get into. I also thought Adu Thiero, he had a nice game. Like, he made some rookie mistakes that you would especially expect for a guy that's played like roughly 30 minutes this season.
Besides getting clocked by Chet Holmgren.
Oh, my Lord.
With that nice elbow.
Woo. I mean,
bony elbow.
I was going to say, and them some pointy elbows that Chet's got. Like, that dude is basically like he's a bony scarecrow, man. And those elbows hurt.
He's that guy that does this, that little thing in front of the car.
Right, except it's all bones. Like, I mean, like, you get hit by that guy, at worst, it's a bit of a slap. Like, that elbow hurts. And, Adu made some mistakes. He did things that you would expect from a guy that inexperienced. But he also, I thought, made some really good plays on both sides of the ball. He was disruptive a few times defensively. He attacked the rim with serious force and was doing it pretty relentlessly. He had a really nice cross-court pass, kind of over the shoulder to, I want to say, Drew Timme for a three. Timme. And I like that stuff. And when we get into this 9-man rotation that JJ is seeking out the info for, Adu is somebody that, if nothing else, I want to examine as a possibility just because of certain things Adu does. But, again, I thought JJ noted, like, there were mistakes and you should expect them, but he liked a lot of what Adu did. Like, the athleticism, man, pops with him. Like, that dude is, even by NBA athlete standards, that dude's an athlete.
Just need him to he's got to learn how to shoot the rock. When he gets that,
Are you talking about Adu Thero who hit a three, DeAndre?
Oh, hold on. I saw 1 3 last night where it hit the side of the backboard. No disrespect.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's...
But his athleticism is through the roof.
Dude, I mean, and some of those attacks at the rim, he had that one double clutch dunk. I was like, damn.
I think it was on Chet Holmgren, too.
Yeah. Well, he is pretty fearless for a guy that, let's be honest, is in over his head. Like, I don't mean that as an insult. Like, any rookie in his position would be in over his head. He's pretty fearless. His energy is super high. There's an athleticism and a speed that this team doesn't have a lot of. So we can talk about that. But I thought Adu was, amidst a pretty one-sided beatdown, I thought he was a bright spot. But then there was also some drama. And I think it is worth discussing what went on between J.J. Redick and Jared Vanderbilt, but also what went on between J.J. and Rui Hachimura, what J.J. said about DeAndre Ayton after the game, and just some concerns I have about J.J.'s temperament as we get closer to the playoffs. Get into all that coming up. Again, your call's 877-710 ESPN. Lakers Talk. Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN.
Purple and gold-blooded. The Lake Show play here.
Tomorrow, the clock is ticking on the regular season. Just 3 games remain before the road to the playoffs begin.
Ahead to Reaves. Alley-oop, LeBron! Slam dunk, highlight play of the month!
And now, it's a Western Conference heavyweight clash. Lakers, Warriors from the Bay Area. Coverage begins tomorrow at 5:30 p.m.
This is the home of the Lakers. 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit Goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
Harry Douglas here. Game day brings the excitement. Your stay should feel just as memorable. With Marriott Bonvoy, official hotel partner of the NCAA and U.S. Soccer, you're connected to a portfolio of brands designed for how you travel. Some offer complimentary breakfast, others give you room to spread out, space to stay productive, or extended stay comforts. So whether you're a traveling fan or part of the team, Marriott Bonvoy celebrates the moments that live on before and after the game. Marriott Bonvoy, where game day checks in.
You've said it before. This will only take a second. Just a quick glance. A fast reply. But on the road, seconds don't wait for you. They decide everything. Who stops, who doesn't, who makes it home. So next time your phone lights up, ask yourself, is this distraction worth a ticket or even a life? Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NetZone.
All the latest surrounding the Lake Show, right here on Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
Now back to Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky.
Oh, guys. That is sweet. It was my birthday 2 days ago. Thank you, Funchy. Thank you, DeAndre.
Happy belated, man.
Thank you to the kids in the back with the social media. Much, much appreciated. Tim, I see you. Thank you
What
all.
are you doing for your birthday? Going to Coachella?
Oh, first of all, I'd have to go back in time. I spent, this is going to sound so much different once you learn the details. I spent my birthday in Vegas. I was in Vegas for my daughter's volleyball tournament. Or club team volleyball tournament. Let me tell you something.
I thought you were going to say you were at like a beach party or something, a day party.
No. Let me tell you this. And by the way, a reminder, in about 15 minutes, we'll be joined by Harrison Faigen, Silver Screen and Roll, SB Nation, covered the Lakers for many years. Being at Mandalay Bay for a 11 through, I believe, 16s volleyball tournament, very different vibe from when I used to set up shop in like my 20s and 30s with my boys at Mandalay Bay. Very, very different vibe. Very different. Also, my daughter, it was her first time in Vegas. She was horrified. She was absolutely, she could not wait to get out of that city.
Not pretty young.
First of all, when we get into McCarran and we're walking through to get our baggage, she immediately sees slot machines. She's like, wait, what? She's like, they have slot machines in the airport? I'm like, yes, that's their last chance to get you before you leave Las Vegas. You're damn right they got slot machines.
Wait till you guys drive there and you guys go to a gas station and you see a slot machine.
Between all of the slot machines everywhere and like the and the lights and the smoke and the weirdos, she wanted to get the hell out of there. She hated Las Vegas. So I guess maybe big picture, that's a good thing, but not a fan. Not a fan at all. Like, I remember we drove past, the MGM Bet Pyramid. She just thought it was stupid looking.
Luxor?
She thought everything was stupid.
Oh, I couldn't stand. I stayed at the Luxor one time. Oh, I hated it. Our room had no AC. Oh, it was awful. We were at the very, very top. It was a bad experience.
Where the air is the thinnest.
Yeah, exactly.
And the one thing she really wanted to do in Vegas was ride that big roller coaster, and we just did not have time.
Which one?
I think it's called Big Apple or something.
The one in New York, right?
Yeah. And we didn't have time because of the tournament games and stuff like that. There's like the only thing she saw in Vegas she wanted to do. Couldn't do it, and again, not a fan. But that's what I was doing on my birthday. Not as exciting as it sounds. What was as exciting as it sounded, though, was the confrontation between J.J. Redick and Jared Vanderbilt, and I guess you could argue a couple other players as well. J.J. entered this game hot, I think it is safe to say, because about 3 minutes into the game, he first pulled Rui Hachimura for, as he said, Rui was not doing his job. It was hard for me to tell exactly what Rui wasn't doing. Like, I rewound the play a few times while watching the game in real time. The closest thing I could see to something that pissed off JJ was there was one point where the audio from the broadcast picked up JJ yelling, "Rui, get the F over there," pointing to what appeared to be wanting Rui to go opposite corner, like filling an opposite side to where he had been. Other than that, I didn't see anything blatant, but JJ clearly saw enough. Rui was yanked about 3 minutes into this for a Duthero. JJ was actually yelling at Rui on the bench, like Rui at one end of the bench, JJ in the other, screaming at Rui. Then end of the first quarter, top of the second, JJ apparently had seen some things from Jared Vanderbilt that he did not like, which has been a recurring theme between JJ and Vando for basically the entire time JJ has been here. JJ, by his own admission, called a timeout at nearly the top of the second quarter, specifically to pull Jared Vanderbilt out of the game. Vando seemed to feel like he was being singled out, didn't like it. There were two confrontations between JJ and Vando on the court, one right after the timeout as JJ and Nate McMillan, the coaching staff, was away from the bench talking stuff over. Vando seemed to be upset that he was the guy getting pulled, was yelling at JJ. The two had to be separated a bit. Nothing like it was going to spill over, but clearly had to be separated. Then on the bench, they were going at each other. JJ was asked about what caused all this after the game.
Just a confluence of things. Again, it's not again nothing personal with him. Normal stuff from my end. I think for all of us, being undermanned and we've got to scrap and claw. We've got to all be on the same page. We got to be great teammates. We got to all play hard. Called a timeout to get him out of the game, and he reacted. But again, normal interaction for me.
From my end, totally fine. Business as usual. One of the things that jumped out at me was JJ so quickly noting that it wasn't personal. And it reminded me a bit of the scene in The Fugitive, the Harrison Ford movie where he plays Dr. Kimball on the run trying to find the one-armed man that killed his wife. He's a fugitive from justice. He goes back to the hospital trying to get clues. And he speaks to, at one point, this x-ray technician. And then the detectives that are pursuing Kimball go interview the same technician. And they initially ask him about his past working relationship with Dr. Kimball, to which the x-ray technician responds, "I haven't seen Dr. Kimball." To which the detective said, "That's not what I asked you," which obviously it was his tell that he had just seen Dr. Kimball. I felt very much, nobody asked you if this was personal, JJ, but you kind of revealed that there is something, if nothing else, from Vando's perspective that feels personal. The other thing that jumped out at me was confluence of events, confluence of things, which makes me feel like this is about more than those 5 minutes. This is about season-long things that he has not liked with Vando. Because, DeAndre, I'm curious your thoughts on this. The 5 minutes I saw, there was nothing that jumped out at me with Vando that would really necessitate a benching. I know he missed 3 free throws, but at the same time, the whole team was missing free throws. And they were missing free throws before Vando entered. Was there anything you saw that was particularly problematic?
No, nothing problematic. When I was there and I was in attendance last night, I literally was just sitting there, and it was weird how that all transpired because, remember, the Lakers got a good defensive stop. They were making their way down in transition, and Vanderbilt pulls the ball out to the corner. And he's in no man's land when you really look at that play. And then for some reason, Shai Gilgeous decides to try to contest the shot, knowing that Vanderbilt is not a corner shooter.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the film, Shai Gilgeous? No disrespect to Jared Vanderbilt. But it was weird because it quickly happened in the second quarter. And then I don't know if it's just because of certain assignments that Vanderbilt missed defensively, because that's what they bring him out there on the basketball court for, especially. And I was just really curious into why J.J. Redick did that. But ultimately, there's reasons why Jared Vanderbilt has had some DNPs throughout this season, just because of the way the rotation was, the lineups, and different matchups and stuff. But it was really, really weird how everything went down, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, and I will say, and I've talked about this a lot this season, last season on Lakers Talk, I think JJ is just my opinion. I think he has a tendency to see Vando's flaws, which clearly exist. He's a flawed player. I think he tends to see them as louder and more problematic than they actually are, which I think leads to JJ having a lower tolerance for those flaws than he does for other flaws of other players. And I have a feeling that a lot of it is spillover from previous games, confirming priors, all of that stuff. But between what went down between him and Rui, to his credit, was put back into the game. Rui actually, I thought, played pretty well after that. But also, JJ, these comments about DeAndre Ayton, who had a couple dud games in a row and has had some issues catching, which JJ mentioned multiple times.
Yeah, he's had trouble catching the ball. So we've ran a bunch of plays for him. He's just had trouble catching the ball. And, I don't know if that's the passing or if it's, him trying to get position. He hasn't been able to catch the ball.
Did you know he's had trouble catching the ball?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm getting a sense that he's having trouble catching the ball, which that is something that sounds, I'm sure from DeAndre, I'm sure there's a conversation JJ's had with DeAndre, but hearing that out loud sounds harsh. I think JJ needs to be careful that he doesn't start heating up and start getting too intense with some of this heading into the playoffs, because we know JJ can run hot. And I think he's done a better job controlling it this season, but we saw this particularly in the playoffs last year, where I think JJ tightened up under the playoff atmosphere. I still maintain that the Game 4, playing 5 guys the entire second half, was galaxy brain stuff, and him overreacting, losing too much patience, trying to be too controlling. I understand holding these guys to a standard, and that's something JJ's talking about. I think he wants to make sure there's no defeatist mindset between them. But you want to make sure that you don't start getting these guys either in their own heads or wanting to play less for you because they feel like you are looking to show them up, or you are looking to turn things that happen over the course of a basketball game, even if they're things that shouldn't happen, even though they're things that in a lot of ways aren't excusable, but they're run-of-the-mill, into things bigger than they actually are. I think JJ needs to be careful of that moving forward. Something we'll talk about with Harrison Faigen from Silver Screen and Roll, SB Nation. He'll be joining us next. Again, take your calls, 877-710-ESPN. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky, ESPN LA.
Purple and gold-blooded. The Lake Show play here.
Tomorrow, the clock is ticking on the regular season. Just 3 games remain before the road to the playoffs begins.
Ahead to Reaves. Alley-oop, LeBron! Slam dunk, highlight play of the month!
And now, it's a Western Conference heavyweight clash. Lakers, Warriors from the Bay Area. Coverage begins tomorrow at 5:30 p.m.
This is the home of the Lakers. 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Waba Grill is an LA original, so we've got to keep it real. Real fresh with our Asian-inspired menu that's grilled to order every time. Real quality with our marinated proteins like hormone-free chicken, ribeye steak, wild-caught salmon, and shrimp. Head to Waba Grill for $5 happy hour, weekdays after 3 p.m. and try our new chili crisp dumplings, paired with a premium or beverage drink, like our delicious Thai tea, both for only $5. Only at Waba Grill. It's for you.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-433-8909. 800-433-8909. Again, that's 800-433-8909.
Mason and Ireland, the OGs of LA Sports Talk.
Now, we have a lot of partners. Eventually, I think somebody's going to buy space on John Ireland's forehead because you can really...
Yeah, there's a lot of room.
Some room there.
Yeah.
For
it's bright,
signage.
shiny.
Signage. You totally back out of that, right?
I'm no comment on that.
Mason and Ireland, weekdays at noon on 710 ESPN, the ESPN LA app, and on YouTube.
All the latest surrounding the Lake Show, right here on Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
Now back to Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky.
Hoping to avoid a hard fall for the Lakers. Right now, man, the problems, the harder they come. Lakers are dealing with a lot right now. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky, ESPN LA 710. And joining us, happy as always to hear from friend of the show, Harrison Faigen. He has covered the Lakers for several seasons, Silver Screen and Roll. He oversees all things NBA for SB Nation, appears regularly on the Lakers Lounge podcast with Anthony Irwin. You can follow him on Twitter at HMFagan. Harrison, how are you, man?
Better after that intro, Andy. You do a better job of introducing me than my own co-host does on the Lakers Lounge. So
well,
I appreciate
consider
that.
the co-host. That's all I'm going to say. We'll leave it at that. All right, so last night's loss to the Thunder, 127-83. Interesting on several levels that we'll get into. I think a couple of legit positives, some drama, but let's start with the good stuff. How sustainable and also how important do you think Luke Kennard's playmaking last night and also Sunday versus Dallas will be for the Lakers during the postseason?
I have a hard time seeing that just because of likely the matchup that they're going to be in is it's looking more and more like the Rockets. And I just have a hard time seeing that sort of army of ball hawks, just giving into the, like not turning Luke Kennard over a whole bunch, a guy who, again, has not really played point guard a whole lot since probably high school. And so I just he's been solid, but I think there's also a reason that they're losing these games. It's like sometimes the best of bad options is still a bad option. And, I think he deserves a ton of credit for adapting his roles and doing his best with a bad situation. But I just have a hard time seeing that being a game plan in the postseason. And which means I think it's going to come down to 41-year-old point guard LeBron to sort of backpack them through this first round series.
Wow. I'm going to follow up on that or follow up with more from the game in a second, but just sticking on what you said about 41-year-old LeBron carrying a backpack filled with Lakers through the first round of the playoffs, potentially. I know there's no template for that scenario because nothing like that has ever come close to happening, but how would you even try to contextualize that scenario? Were it, even if the Lakers didn't win the first round against the Rockets, if, say, they made it a legit series with that as the context?
I mean, it would be like if Michael Jordan had made the playoffs with the Wizards in one of his seasons and sort of pushed a team in the first round or even won a round, It's it's sort of like if Vince Carter at the end with the Hawks had led them to conference semifinals or whatever. It's just there aren't 41-year-olds that do this. The last, 40-year-old guy that I can remember really contributing in any meaningful way was Karl Malone. In the Lakers, I believe it was 2003, right? 2004. And he broke down by the end. And, LeBron looks great. And I actually think that it was smart of the team to sit him out versus OKC last night. It's why are you going to have him go do that in sort of a hopeless matchup anyway? You need to save him and see if you can steal enough games to extend this first round series until Luka and Austin get back, if they're going to be back in time. And again, there's just there's so many ifs here. It's not a good plan. None of this is a good or ideal plan, but it's the only way, it's the only path forward that I really see.
It's very much that scene in Argo. Is this the best bad plan that you have? This is the best bad plan that we have. And talking with Harrison Faigen, he's covered the Lakers for years, Silver Screen and Roll. He is part of SB Nation's NBA coverage. He oversees it all. He's a regular on the Lakers Lounge podcast. Follow him on Twitter at HMFagan. All right, the drama from last night. JJ had an in-game dust-up with Jared Vanderbilt, 2 different confrontations after calling a timeout, as JJ said, specifically to yank Vando from the game. Just 5 minutes into a shift, Vando did not seem to appreciate it. Didn't play again. Vando has been in and out of the rotation all season. What's your beat on this situation last night?
Yeah, I mean, just from afar, it seems pretty clear that there is, like at best a personality clash there, and like at worst, JJ just doesn't value really what Vando brings to the table, and maybe a little bit of both. I just think that it's somebody was I was talking to, or I was listening to Darius Soriano on the Laker Film Room pod today, and he was talking about it's just like when there's a guy cut out of the rotation, when somebody comes back, it's always Vando.
Yep.
And this is going back through JJ's like entire time as the Lakers coach. It's just become clear every single time that they face like a roster crunch that Vando was the odd man out. And so I wouldn't blame him for feeling a certain type of way about JJ. Like, all these guys are confident. All these guys have like pride and egos. And like, he probably sees the Lakers getting lit up on defense sometimes and is like, I could help with that. If only like the coach, didn't care that, or cared enough to like try and find a role for me on offense where I don't totally torpedo it. But from JJ's perspective, I also understand like Vando is probably not good enough to justify doing that necessarily. But I think it's led to this sort of like this constant tension between the two of them where, it just every coach has like their players that they don't get along with as well, or that they don't value as much. And it just seems like Vando is sort of like almost like built in a lab as like the perfect not JJ Redick player. Like if Luke Kennard was like the exact platonic ideal of like what JJ would build in the lab for like his role player, it's like Vando is like the opposite. It's like a guy who can't shoot, who's not aggressive really on offense, not much of like a passer or playmaker. It's like that's just like antithetical to the way that JJ views the game. And I just like, I don't think that he sees Vando as enough of a defensive weapon to sort of offset that.
Well, I think also, too, I have to imagine, because I think, frankly, it's obvious, that Vando probably feels like JJ looks for reasons not to play him. Like there was a period where Vando was out of the rotation, and JJ seemed determined to land on anybody but Jared Vanderbilt as it was either the 9th man or the 10th man, whatever it was. And that became, I would imagine that from Vando's perspective, it's like, look, it's one thing if you're not going to give me a chance. It's another thing if you're going to call a timeout that feels like you're just looking to embarrass me in the process. We lost. I apologize. We actually lost Harrison. We'll look to get Harrison back. We're looking to get him back. But I do think that's part of it, too, that from Vando's perspective, he feels like the guy that JJ is always looking for a reason not to play, kind of confirming his priors. And he wouldn't be the first player to be out of a rotation, but it's more the idea of you are looking to not just not play me, but and happen to have Harrison back. I was saying before we lost you that I imagine Vando feels like it's one thing not to play me, but it feels like you're looking for reasons not to. And then in the process last night, you're actually looking to embarrass me while taking me out.
And make an example of me.
Right, single me out when I have, in my mind, spent this whole season being singled out. And enough. If you're going to pull me, pull me. If you're not going to play me, don't play me. But don't make an example out of me in a way that feels like you're not holding everybody else to.
Yeah, and again, like I think every coach has these blind spots for some player on their roster where like it's just either the fan base or the player themselves or, some combination of all of it. Like the organization maybe just values that player more than the coach does. And the coach, we saw this with Darvin Ham. We saw this with Frank Vogel. Like all of these, like every coach today, especially when you have these sort of like admittedly flawed rosters of the Lakers, like you're going to have some eye of the beholder guys. And like for JJ, that's just not Vando. And I think Vando probably feels like, he's not being set up for success and he's being singled out unfairly. And, it's like, is Jake LaRavia that much better than me? And it's like, I don't really know, but he's better at some of the things that JJ values. And so I just think that it's like one of these things where it's like even anybody who played basketball in high school, it's like, you feel like your coach plays favorites. This is a thing at like basketball at all levels. And, it's just pretty clear that like those two are not a fit. And it was also like the fact that all the beat reporters made sure to note it, which sort of to me says, because they're watching the bench every single game. And to me, that says like, okay, maybe I have a little bit more information on like these two guys don't like each other. And so I'm noting this because it is notable in a way that I don't really have the sourcing to necessarily specifically report on that these two like hate each other or whatever.
Yeah. And talking with Harrison Faigen, Silver Screen and Roll, SB Nation, regular on the Lakers Lounge podcast. Follow him on Twitter at HMFagan. Andy Kamenetzky, Lakers Talk 710 ESPN. Like, to be clear, Vando does have flaws as a player. Like, JJ is not wrong about that. And he can. I mean, I think he could play Vando more than he does. I think he should play Vando more than he does. But he is more than entitled to play whoever he wants. To me, what I find interesting about this and potentially concerning is the how you go about it. Because it was also a game where JJ had a very quick back and forth with Rui Hachimura, who eventually, after yelling back and forth, put Rui back in the game. And Rui played really well. There was also the comments after the game about DeAndre Ayton's inability to catch the ball.
I believe that was JJ's attempt to be diplomatic, too, which is kind of funny. Like, I know. He was like last year he would have just said like DeAndre sucks, and like this year he's like, well, he's just not catching the ball when we throw it.
This is growth. and look, all jokes aside, I do think JJ has grown as a coach from last year to this year. I think he's a good coach, but he does run very intense. He can run very hot. And last year in the playoffs, I think the atmosphere brought out some bad tendencies in him and some impatience and things like that. We're heading now closer to the playoffs. This game happens yesterday. Are you concerned at all about those elements resurfacing during the playoffs?
Less so this year, just because it feels like this playoff run is like, again, like going back to the bad plan thing. It's like, can you be that worried about something is going to end badly? And
true.
Like so I'm not super worried about it, but it is something that gives me pause about him as a head coach in general. Like, I think the two things that you could take away from JJ's career so far is that, like, he's a great regular season coach. I think, like, I just don't know that you could really argue anything else. He's taken all these different rosters, figured out ways to get them to play and just rack up regular season wins every single year, probably more than they really should if you looked at the roster on paper. But then, in the playoffs last year, I think the game was a little fast for him. And I think that, he is one of those guys that, like, because of his personality style and his temperament, like, has a tendency to be like, no, F you. I'm just benching you and I'm going to play the guys that I trust. And that's it. And, like that, it just last year, when he played all five guys down the stretch of that game, like, it felt like a similar thing where it's like, I am going to show everyone else on this team what I think of them right now, and that I don't think that they're good at basketball. And I want that to be clear for everyone, that I only trust these five guys, and I'm going down shit swinging with the guys that I trust. And, I just, like, it remains to be seen if that can work at, like, the highest level. And, I think if the Lakers had a better roster with, like, less flawed players, this would be less of an issue. But,
absolutely.
It is a blind spot for JJ for sure. Or, like, maybe not a blind spot. Maybe he's aware of this. And, it's just part of his coaching style.
Talking with Harrison Faigen. He's covered the Lakers for several seasons, Silver Screen and Roll. He oversees all things NBA for SB Nation. Regular on the Lakers Lounge podcast. You can follow him on Twitter at HMFagan. Andy Kamenetzky, ESPN LA 710 Lakers Talk. JJ also talked about looking for his 9 players that would be in the rotation to start the playoffs. There are 7 who are seemingly locks, health assumed, or health that we can count on assumed. LeBron James, Marcus Smart, Rui Hachimura, Jake LaRavia, DeAndre Ayton, Jackson Hayes, Luke Kennard. Who do you think the last 2 guys should be? Who do you think they will be if they're not the same 2 guys?
I think Vando should be one of the guys, even like as we talk about like all of the flaws and whatever, just because the Lakers are so limited right now. They're really going to have to junk the game up, I think, to have a chance against Houston. And I think Vando gives you a chance to like maybe create some defensive chaos and, that sort of thing. Honestly, like, I feel like it's probably going to be like Bronny and like Matt and Maxey, just because it seems like he values the things that those guys bring and like just has like a certain level of trust in them. And it's just pretty clear. Like when you look at the rest of the roster, like I don't think he likes Kobe Buffkin very much. I don't think he likes Dalton Connect very much. Like you're running out of guys pretty fast for him to play, given, the injury issues the Lakers have at the top.
Well, Dalton, I think, is actually the one guy that he wants to play less than Jared Vanderbilt. Like at this point, and in this case, I actually understand where JJ is coming from, and he has actually given Dalton a lot of chances over the last couple years, and it just has not panned out. Like I have my difference of opinion when it comes to JJ and Vando, even again, flaws acknowledged. I actually understand exactly where he's coming from with Vando. I agree with you. I think Vando has to be the eighth guy. I mean, at this point, he's the most proven NBA player that they have on the roster that's still available, even if, again, you think that there are problems and you want to maybe max him out at 12-ish minutes a night. That ninth guy, though, is going to be really fascinating to see how it plays out, assuming JJ really is looking for 9, because the Bronny minutes, I think, have gotten increasingly problematic and non-productive, and I don't think he's ready for this. And it's not a shot at Bronny. I don't think he's should be expected to be ready, but he's not. Maxey is reliable and experienced, but I think after a while, the more he plays, the more his body starts breaking down and it starts becoming, and it sucks to say that because there are certain things Maxey does well, and I agree with you, Kobe Buffkin does not seem to be an option. Dalton does not seem to be an option. It's going to be really interesting to see how JJ approaches this moving forward. He is Harrison Faigen. He's covered the Lakers for years, Silver Screen and Roll. He oversees all things NBA for SB Nation. He appears regularly on the Lakers Lounge podcast with Anthony Irwin. You can follow him on Twitter at HMFagan. He is a friend of the show. He is much appreciated. Thank you, brother.
Always good to talk with you, Andy, and I'm glad you're back from your post, injury depressive episode and back on the air and able to sort of get through it.
Wow, man. It is crazy. The note that March ended on for the Lakers and how fast things turned to April. It's insane, the turnaround.
Yeah. It was sort of like the basketball god said, you get one good month. It's over on April Fool's Day. Like you get the March Lakers, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it turns out is March was actually April Fool's Day. And like April Fool's Day was just one big long play, and then we ended up where we are now. Appreciate the time, Harrison. Thank you.
All right, always good to hear from you.
All right, coming up, we will get into the Lakers' health situation right now. Some potentially promising news with Marcus Smart and also how things will shake out in tomorrow's game against the Warriors. That's all coming up next. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN.
Purple and gold-blooded. The Lake Show play here.
Tomorrow, the clock is ticking on the regular season. Just 3 games remain before the road to the playoffs begin.
Ahead to Reaves. Alley-oop, LeBron! Slam dunk, highlight play of the month!
And now, it's a Western Conference heavyweight clash. Lakers, Warriors from the Bay Area. Coverage begins tomorrow at 5:30 p.m.
This is the home of the Lakers. 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Is it time to downsize? Selling your home doesn't have to be a hassle. With Seller's Advantage, skip commissions and costly repairs. Get a fair, competitive cash offer without worrying about the details falling through. Chris Chavez, a real customer, says, quote, Seller's Advantage offered me more than I expected. The process was fast, easy, and much better than using a realtor. End quote. Call 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your free cash offer.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Providence Realty, DRE number 019-15-21-2.
Hey Rams fans, it's your quarterback Matthew Stafford here. The Rams and United Way of Greater Los Angeles are excited to bring Walk United LA to SoFi Stadium this year on Saturday, May 9th. Join me and my family for the 5K walk run and help support our Los Angeles community. Registration is now open at walkunitedla.org, where you can sign up for Team Rams and learn more. Our team is only as strong as our city, and this walk is about uplifting all Angelinos in need. I can't wait to see y'all at the Rams house on May 9th.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today.
Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
All the latest surrounding the Lake Show, right here on Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
Now back to Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky.
Shout out Eddie Murphy.
It was his birthday recently, too.
This was a legit hit. This is when you knew Eddie Murphy had just conquered the 80s. Number one
hit movies.
Hit movies, hit songs, sold out concerts. I mean, the dude, he made those plastic vinyl suits somehow cool. I see you, DeAndre, back there. Doing the dice. Doing a little dice there. Thanks again to Harrison Faigen, Silver Screen and Roll, SB Nation, for joining us. It is time for the Lakers Talk Injury Report, brought to you by the Call Jacob Injury Hotline, the only number LA trusts after an accident. 800-345-6789, 800-345-6789. Easy number to remember, which is super important after an accident. Your brain is scrambled. You don't want a complicated number to remember. This one is simple, 800-345-6789. The Lakers have announced that for tomorrow's game against the Golden State Warriors, obviously can be heard right here, 710 ESPN, 7 o'clock tip, and pregame coverage begins at 5:30 with Beto Duran. He'll also be part of the he is post-game coverage along with Bunchy and DeAndre. LeBron is going to be back for the Warriors game, and Marcus Smart has been upgraded to questionable, which is progress towards available. JJ did say that Marcus Smart has been trending in the right direction, and they were confident that he would play sometime this week. Obviously, given that Marcus has been out for a while and that I'm old enough to remember when Kendrick Nunn was day-to-day for a year, you want to see it before you believe it, but it does seem like Marcus Smart is trending towards being back from that ankle injury. That is very, very important. Like, they are already fighting uphill without a paddle, and if they don't have Marcus Smart, I think, if it's possible to be more DOA than a lot of people think they already are, they're really going to be DOA without Marcus Smart. Jackson Hayes, though, still out with left foot soreness, which, DeAndre, that has me a little bit concerned because I figured maybe this was just totally precautionary last night. Jackson Hayes not playing against OKC because they were missing everybody. Little concerned that he's also out against Golden State?
I mean, we keep talking about it, man. The Lakers and the injuries are at the worst time of the season. Mm-hmm. Now, Marcus Smart being out with that ankle, I mean, he's been out for quite some time, and man, they so desperately need his defense right now. They do. But Jackson Hayes, him being out the lineup as well, doesn't really help because he's that secondary big man, just in case DeAndre Ayton's going through some troubles throughout the game. But man,
struggles catching?
Yeah, struggles catching the rock. By the way, just to throw that out there, and seeing Jay Redick making those comments, there was a game that recently happened, the Lakers versus the Dallas Mavericks, and LeBron James had one good play, but the play that was for DeAndre Ayton, meaning LeBron James did a great job drawing two defenders driving to the basket. The two defenders help. LeBron is, as a big man, when you see somebody in that, the dunker spot, what do you do normally if someone's You do a little
It's the
dish
ball
off.
to the guy in the dunker spot.
In the dunker spot. And it was the simplest, most easiest catch, and DeAndre Ayton still found a way to fumble the rock. And I just want to throw it out there because I was really, really glaring, and then seeing the Oklahoma City game and seeing that it's very, very frustrating.
That ain't dominating.
It's not dominating. We need him to get on that crunk juice, man.
Ship the man some crunk juice. And by the way, too, this is a personal affront to DeAndre Hawkins because every time DeAndre Hawkins decides to buy into DeAndre Ayton disappoints DeAndre Hawkins.
And I gave him the praise. You know, he had a really good month of March. He really, really did. He was a big contributor as far as Lakers being 15-2. And then the times that, you know, they're looking for a little bit more scoring, the times that they're looking for you to be a good rebounder.
The stuff that wouldn't be Clint Capella, like the stuff that everyone says DeAndre Ayton wants to do.
Exactly. And you don't show up.
Yeah, no, I mean, if they're going to try to, at the very least, stretch out a first-round series long enough that maybe Luka can come back or pull an upset in the first round, they're going to need DeAndre Ayton. Like, that's not going to be possible without Ayton playing well in that series.
Also, but Marcus Smart, I really hope, because we've seen him there in moments earlier this season, and seeing, just real quick, and seeing how Lakers, how they were getting to the offense and trying to just offload and find ways to offload the ball from LeBron, Luka, Ospreys, whatever the case is. Really hoping that Marcus Smart can stay healthy, only because
I thought there was some breaking news.
Right? Only because we can see them as far as if they do establish that lineup with Kennard in there, just hoping that they can play off each other.
You know, we do have breaking news.
Oh.
Memphis is up by 3. It's almost halftime against Denver.
Wow. Cedric Howard show, baby. Let's go.
58-55.
That would be massive.
We need that.
This would be like upset of the century. This would be like Buster Douglas knocking out Mike Tyson. This Grizzlies squad, like one of the longest injury lists I have ever seen. If they somehow beat this Nuggets team that actually has a reason to play, again, this is Buster Douglas Tyson territory. Also, want to get into Luka Doncic and his health situation and his desire to speed up his return. He is in Spain getting some treatment. Is this a good idea, considering the Lakers won't still likely have Austin Reaves, considering how banged up they are? Is this actually smart, big picture for Luka? We'll get into that coming up next. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN.
Purple and gold-blooded. The Lake Show play here.
Tomorrow, the clock is ticking on the regular season. Just 3 games remain before the road to the playoffs begin.
Ahead to Reaves. Alley-oop, LeBron! Slam dunk, highlight play of the month!
And now, it's a Western Conference heavyweight clash. Lakers, Warriors from the Bay Area. Coverage begins tomorrow at 5:30 p.m.
This is the home of the Lakers. 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You never know what you're going to get when you wake up with Sedano and Cap.
I was walking towards the dude with the face tattoo,
And then I moved on the other side of Beto so that Beto was closer to the guy with the face tattoo, just in case the guy with the face tattoo just decided to go all crazy on me.
I don't know why you're so scared.
There was a stabbing downtown the other day.
So you get stabbed.
You sound like when my kid gets drilled in Little League. I'll be like, you're good. Take a breath. You're okay.
It's the morning show with Sedano and Cap. Weekdays starting at 7 a.m. on ESPN LA.
The home of USC football, and now the home of The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays 9 a.m. to noon, KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
All the latest surrounding the Lake Show, right here on Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
Now back to Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky.
No yet? Little time, 48 hours after my birthday. Appreciate that, Bunchy. I see what you're doing. Thank you very much. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky, ESPN LA 710. Reminder, if you want to weigh in, 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-ESPN. Before getting into Luka's situation and his desire to try to get back on the court faster than originally expected with a grade 2 hamstring injury, an update on the Warriors' health situation. Woof. Steph Curry is questionable for tomorrow's game. Steve Kerr has said that he is only going to play one game of the Thursday-Friday back-to-back that the Warriors have. So just one of them. He has been playing off the bench in the 2 games he's been back, playing with his brother off the bench, his brother Seth. So I guess
that's sweet.
Yeah, it's kind of fun moment for the Curry family. Charles Bassey, questionable. Guy Santos, questionable. Will Richard, doubtful. Kristaps Porzingis, out. Al Horford, out. Quentin Post, out. We know already that Moses Moody and Jimmy Butler out for the season. This is a game the Lakers should win. There is no question they should win this game. Also, some good injury update news. Tyrese Halliburton tweeted out that he's now doing 5-on-5 play. So that's really awesome. Like, I've missed seeing Tyrese
Return of Halliburton, let's go.
Yeah, no, man, I have missed seeing Tyrese Halliburton. That dude is fun to watch play. He's got huevos.
By the way, the Pacers. Sorry, I was looking at the Spurs team. The Pacers. When Halliburton gets healthy, and they got Zubac, and they still got Siakam, and they still got Andrew Nembhard, they're gonna be a good team.
Oh yeah,
and they got
also first round pick, Aaron Nesmith.
Aaron Nesmith, yeah.
And they're trying to keep the pick that they gave up to the Clippers, which was highly and unusually protected. It's 1 through 4 protected, 10 beyond protected.
Get out of here.
Yes. Yeah, that was one of the picks in the Zubac deal. So they're trying to have their cake in the form of Ivica Zubac and eat it too in the form of the pick. So that explains some of their shenanigans. But had Tyrese Halliburton been healthy, they would have just been looking to go back to the finals again. But I think the NBA has missed Tyrese Halliburton. So it is awesome that he is apparently getting healthier. Luka Doncic, it was reported, has been, and it was confirmed, by the way, by his agent, Bill Duffy, to the LA Times, that he has gone to Europe, I believe Spain, seeking treatment to try to speed up his return from a grade 2 strained hamstring. And it is presumed, widely presumed, that the treatments will include, this from the LA Times, ultrasound-guided platelet-rich plasma, PRP, injections and stem cell injections, which are, according to the LA Times, from a Kenton Feibel, a primary care sports medicine specialist at Cedars-Sinai, the most common treatments for injuries of this nature. It can speed up the healing of injured tissues. This type of specific treatment, more aggressive, is not legal in the States. Like, you can do certain forms of this, but not as wide-ranging and aggressive as they do in Europe. It's legal for players to do this, just so it's clear. Like, this is not something that would get Luka in any type of trouble. It's just not legal to be done in the States. But it does raise the question of whether or not it's a good idea in the first place for Luka to try to get back so quickly, given that he has a history of hamstring issues. He's had hamstring injuries this season. He had them in Dallas. Soft tissue issues have been a thing for Luka, even this season, where I think he did a good job keeping himself in shape from the summer of Luka. Like, it's looked to me, DeAndre Funchie, you guys can disagree if you do, it did not look to me like Luka put on any of that weight.
No, he did not. Me personally, I felt like he looked really, really good, especially throughout this whole entire season, and especially how his body looked compared to last year. And as far as just like rushing him back, it's just
rushing himself back. In theory, the Lakers are not pressuring him to do this.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, as far as rushing himself back, let me correct myself. It's really concerning just due to the injury history that he recently has taken a toll on, as far as his hamstring, his calf, and I just don't want it to get further. I don't want it to get worse. Simple as that.
It's funny you mentioned that part about potentially getting worse. Dr. Clapper was on Mason and Ireland yesterday when I was filling in for Mace, and that is actually the biggest concern that I have, would be that after doing this, Luka would somehow turn this from a grade 2 to a grade 3. And, grade 3 can include the idea of the hamstring tearing off the bone entirely, a longer rehab, maybe surgery. I asked Dr. Clapper about the risk of this happening post-PRP and these type of injections. Here's what he had to say.
He is not going to now tear it off the bone. The issue is if what they are because in America we're not allowed to manipulate cells. We have the FDA, which, by the way, protects us. In the 50s, there was a drug called thalidomide. When women were pregnant and they didn't feel well, they had morning sickness, right away they gave them thalidomide, and the babies were born with all kinds of birth defects. Thank God the FDA stopped it from happening, but they didn't stop it in Europe. So we love the FDA. It's a policeman, if you will, appropriately. So if the manipulation of the cell, the macrophage, that's what I want the fans to learn today from my visit. It's called a macrophage. If you can get it to make new muscle cells, then you're not going to have any recurrence of a tear again in that same spot. But if, in fact, you end up with more scar or fibrous tissue, then he's going to have future hamstring tears.
And this is what I think when you start looking at risk reward or risk assessment with this, DeAndre, the big concern I have is the idea of, could you make this worse? And by worse, I mean essentially a different injury, like turning this from a grade 2 to a grade 3, which I'm assuming, from everything I've ever understood with this, you're talking about a different recovery, maybe surgery. You're talking about a longer rehab process that maybe could bleed into the start of the regular season. It certainly could affect Luka with conditioning. If there's more than, say, a 5% risk of that, then I would say this isn't worth it, in my opinion. Like, this is not worth it, given that they will likely be competing without Austin Reaves during that period. Luka almost certainly will not be able to start the series with the Lakers. So by the time he gets back, they may already be in a hole that Luka can't help them get out of and advance to the next round. If the biggest risk is simply going back to square one with a grade 2 hamstring injury, that's not ideal, but this is my totally non-scientific, never been to med school, was not even a particularly good science student view on this. It seems to me that the risks aren't necessarily that high, because it feels like he would essentially be back at square one without the timeline changing that much. So whatever the rehab was for this injury, you're basically starting whatever you would do maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks at most after when it would happen. I guess unless the Lakers get all the way to the finals or something, at which point it's a good problem to have. But if Luka re-injured this but just put himself back to square one, I guess I'm not that concerned about it, because it just feels like basically where we are right now. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And him coming back, it just, I think I just always wrap my head around as far as looking at this Lakers and how this Lakers roster without Luka and Austin Reaves, and the likelihood of them making it out of the first round, it's hard to kind of look over that. And it's as far as him coming back, knowing that them possibly trying to get out the first round or even extending their season, like you said, it's hard to see that be an outcome. And it's for him rushing himself back and getting back into the lineup, knowing that it's still going to be something that's lingering. Remember, this is the same injury that's been popped up on the injury report damn near for the majority of the season, just hamstring soreness. So it's like, do you want to jeopardize a season to where you could potentially be out, not potentially, most likely will be out of the second round, knowing that you still have to go up against San Antonio or Oklahoma City Thunder, most likely, or you understand that you are the foreseeable future, and what they're trying to do is build more around this roster for you in the foreseeable future. I think that's why I just keep on wrapping my head around.
Yeah, I'm trying. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm trying to find out right now, trying to refresh my memory. When Luka made his debut last year with the Lakers after the trade, he arrived injured. I'm trying to remember if that was also a hamstring.
I think that was a calf strain.
It was calf strain. Okay, so
could be the same leg though.
It may be the same leg, and it's definitely, again, part of a recurrence of soft tissue injuries. I guess, and this is either glass half empty or glass half full, depending on how you want to look at it. I kind of feel like with Luka, the dangers or concerns about recurrence at this point are just baked into the cake. Like at this point, I feel like, unfortunately, Luka just is susceptible to this. Like when you've been dealing with this as many times as Luka has over the course of his career, it just kind of feels like part of who he is. And I mean, you want to try to be as preventative as possible, but I don't know if you can prevent it altogether. So I have a low risk tolerance, again, in terms of could this be worse, and worse defined as a different injury. Like if there's a risk for grade 3, frankly, I don't want him to do this at all.
No, and I agree with you in that point as well. If it can get worse and it can get to the point where it can become a grade 3, don't do it all.
I'm a little worried about him being in Spain rehabbing though, because of all the tapas and they eat really late. A lot of fried food over there, Andy. You know.
Come on, Funch. He's on a proper diet now, man.
Come on, man. Hey, look, he's on vacation right now.
Let me tell you something, Funchy. The summer of Luka began overseas. That began in Europe. In Slovenia, where he can find all the food that he loves, and Spain.
But Spain is like, the tapas are fried and a lot of meat. I know, so good.
Have you ever
right?
been to Spain?
I have not been to Spain, but I have had tapas and stuff like that.
I've not been to Spain, no.
That's where I went on my honeymoon. The food is so good. I was in
a lot
Barcelona.
of rice.
I was in Barcelona. I was in Mallorca. I was in Madrid. My God.
Can I ask a question as far as the food out there? Did you feel bloated after eating?
No, it's the opposite. Everything is so fresh. Like, Luka's, because there has been a lot of reporting about how Luka would arrive every season with Dallas in shape, and then he would eventually put weight on over the course of the season, which sounds impossible because the seasons when he's playing NBA basketball. I think some of it is just it's harder to eat well during the NBA season because you have so many late hours, you're flying into weird places. Some of it, though, is, man, we have so much processed crap here.
Yes, we do.
We really do. Like the food in Europe, even like when I've been to Mexico a few times, like it's just cleaner everywhere else.
Oh, when I went to Mexico, the food I ate there was incredible.
Yes.
And I did not feel like full. No. I felt really, really good after I ate everything.
This is how not full I felt eating in Spain. And my wife actually had to stop me. Like when we were in Mallorca, we ate somewhere on the island, and I had like some big seafood meal, whatever. I ate a lot of seafood while I was there because it's just incredibly fresh fish. We're walking around Mallorca, which is kind of like this little sleepy island town. It's really beautiful. And I see this Chinese food place, and I start peeking in the window, and my wife looks at me and goes, no, we're not doing this. No, you just had a full meal an hour and a half ago. We're not doing this. She was right. I did not feel bloated, though. I mean, I feel Funchy. I get it. Tapas can add.
Tapas, fried.
I know.
Food, a lot of rice.
I'm going to trust Luka.
I hope so.
This is the new Luka. This is skinny Luka.
Right. It's a new era.
Eat some lettuce with.
Oh, wait. So
They got Lechuga over in Spain.
Hey, that's right. Come on, Punch.
They got Lechuga.
So
Ross
okay,
Lechuga.
real quick, if you would have gotten the Chinese food over there, what would have been your first choice?
Some type of probably seafood over there. I would have wanted some type of prepared. Yeah.
Okay.
Shrimp, fish, something like that. I don't know. I would have gotten everything. It would have been an absolute disaster. I mentioned before talking with Harrison that JJ said he's looking for his 9 guys right now. Want to get Bunchy's take and DeAndre's take. Who should the 9 guys be? Who do we think they will be? Also, if you want to weigh in, 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-ESPN. Who do you think the 9 guys in the playoff rotation should be for the Lakers? That's coming up next. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN.
Purple and gold-blooded. The Lake Show play here.
Tomorrow, the clock is ticking on the regular season. Just 3 games remain before the road to the playoffs begin.
Ahead to Reaves. Alley-oop, LeBron! Slam dunk, highlight play of the month!
And now, it's a Western Conference heavyweight clash. Lakers, Warriors from the Bay Area. Coverage begins tomorrow at 5:30 p.m.
This is the home of the Lakers. 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Hey, it's Cap. Inheriting a home can be overwhelming, but Seller's Advantage makes it easy. One customer shared, quote, inheriting a home felt like too much work. Seller's Advantage gave us a reasonable offer, handled everything, and closed in 3 weeks. I highly recommend them. Skip repairs and headaches. Call Seller's Advantage today at 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your free cash offer.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Providence Realty, DRE number 019-15-21-2.
You're sitting at a red light or stuck in traffic, and your phone lights up. Maybe it's a text, a video call, a new post, or a quick notification you think you can check in a second. It feels harmless, but the truth is, once your eyes leave the road, you're not really driving anymore. And traffic doesn't pause just because you do. That split second of distraction can throw off everything. Your reaction time, your awareness, your ability to avoid someone else's mistake. You could damage your car, injure yourself, or hurt someone you care about. Or you could get pulled over for a reminder that your phone isn't worth the risk. So before you start driving, make it easy on yourself. Put your phone on silent. Toss it in the glove box. Set it to Do Not Disturb. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
It's DeMarco Farr and Travis Rogers for your afternoon drive.
Travis, hand me those red ones. I'd be. Thank you.
Why don't you just buy headphones?
Why don't you shut up?
Well, no, you're doing.
Why don't you shut up and leave me alone?
You know,
start with me.
Of the Power
You
Six,
can't even say hello yet.
Of the Power 6 hosts, which are the 6 hosts with their own show here, all 6 of them have their own headphones. At this level, you would think that...
So what's your point?
DeMarco and Travis have taken over Afternoon Drive. Weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on 710 ESPN.
All the latest surrounding the Lake Show, right here on Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
One day we're going to find out that's actually JJ Redick.
OrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
Now back to Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky.
Prince Rogers Nelson Party Man. Great, by the way. I will always associate this with one of John Ireland's great calls. He used this, I think it was when Kobe had 60. There was some way he used Party Man as part of a call with Kobe. I can't remember, but it was really, really well done.
Look that up.
He referenced the lyrics of Party Man in talking about Kobe, and it was really, really well done.
knows nothing about this.
Don't know nothing about no Party Man.
I sure don't.
Oh, by the way, too, Funchy, over in the YouTube chat for Lakers Talk, and appreciate everybody being here. Enrique-Z6H1R, Funch is the GOAT. according to Enrique.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're the GOAT?
Yeah.
The GOAT?
Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Michael Funches.
There you go. There you go. Lakers talk. Andy Kamenetzky, ESPN LA 710. Like I said, we're going to get into JJ's comments about looking for his 9 guys for the playoff rotation. But before that, I want to take a couple calls. Begin with Mario in Monterey Park. You're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Mario?
Hey, K, you know you're my boy.
Thank you.
I know you're married to a Mexicana, so that's why I got nothing but respect for you.
Gracias,
Yo.
amigo. Gracias.
Hey, I'm going to keep it real right now. I'm a Laker fan. I was happy when they hired JJ, but I'm about to keep it real. The real JJ is coming out. Or like I told D, you can take the boy out of Duke, but you can't take the Duke out of the boy. And his Dukiness is oozing with his attitude, the way he is treating his players. He hasn't earned one dang right, to treat his players like this. He needs to build his players. He needs to breathe belief in their players. Dude, connect. Vandy, they're all regressing. There's no progressing. And he came into, after he was hired about player development. He hasn't developed one single player. It's quite the opposite. He's bullied players. He's made players feel less. So it is time to start questioning JJ, because I think some of the responsibility that we don't have a deep bench falls on him, because he hasn't developed them physically. He hasn't developed them mentally in terms of confidence. Dude, just look at these other coaches, OKC. Look at what Golden State does with Santos. I mean, just building players, right? They can go 8, 9, 10 deep. And us, dude, I mean, we need shoot. I mean, after 6 or 7, we're done.
No, I appreciate the call there, Mario. And it's a double-edged sword for JJ in terms of you want to develop these players. And I agree. And I don't know how much of this is purely on JJ versus the players that they've drafted, the end-of-the-bench guys that Rob Pelinka's brought in. There's nobody that I look at other than Jared Vanderbilt, and I've made this point really clear over the last couple of years. I think JJ should play Vando more. I acknowledge his flaws. I just think he brings certain things that they need. But, for example, I think JJ has given Dalton Connect chances. Those chances haven't panned out. Now, you could argue, and maybe this is true, Dalton Connect was a very different player at Tennessee, the way he was used, than how JJ has looked to use him, often as more of an off-ball guy working off screens, things like that, as opposed to having the ball in his hands. How much of Dalton's lack of progress along those lines, lack of intuitive understanding of what he's supposed to be doing, how much of that is on Dalton versus how much of that is JJ not clearly explaining what he wants and having the patience to see it out? And some of this is just patience, period. Like the willingness to eat a couple losses or eat some bad possessions, eat some bad halves in order to get the larger picture, which is that young, developed player. I don't know what exactly has kept Kobe Buffkin from getting more opportunities. I say this not because I think Buffkin has killed it when he's been out there. I don't think he has, but they gave him that 15th spot for a reason. And he's since gotten that and has not been used at all, which makes me just, again, sort of wonder what the plan is with somebody like Buffkin. JJ has certainly given Bronny scattered opportunities. I think of late, Bronny's minutes have gotten progressively worse and not as productive.
Thank you, Casey Wallace, for exploiting that.
But even before that, I think it was moving in that direction. He's not ready for handling the ball, even as a secondary ball handler, facilitator against quality defenses. He just isn't.
I feel like JJ he has a short leash when it comes to things like that. Meaning that
he does.
As soon as he sees one mistake, it's like, all right, I can't trust you right now. And it honestly leads into the whole nine guys who you can trust, because You see that you're trying to throw Dalton Connect out there. And Dalton Connect, we remember when he first got it, when the Lakers first drafted him, and he had that month, we're like, oh, they got to steal the draft. And then real quick, it turned around real quick for Dalton Connect. And then realistically, I understand Vanderbilt. I understand why people didn't like how JJ approached that and how he handled that. But there's reasons to why Vanderbilt has had DMPs, like I always go back to, because offensively, he struggles. Offensively, he doesn't. I mean, he tried to move without the basketball, but you can see the spacing isn't there. You can see that the offense isn't as fluid as it needs to be. And then defensively, yeah, he can be a help as far as in the passing lanes and things of that nature, but it's hard when you have the rotation that you had your eyes set and looking forward to, and it just completely got blown up.
Well, then I would say if not Vando, there needs to be more of a leash probably for somebody, just because after a while you start wearing on too many of your main players, and then you either leave them susceptible for potential injury, but also just burnout. And again, like sort of a big picture view of this, it's difficult when you're a team that is looking to win now, and you're a team that is in a really difficult conference. And this is also some of the traps that can fall for a team like the Lakers that always wants to project, we are trying to win now. We are in the most win now mode possible. These teams that that Mario brought up, OKC, or when you look at San Antonio, or you look at the Celtics, you look at Detroit, they have allowed themselves some seasons where they're just like, we're not contending right now. We're looking to build something with sustainability, and that's.
And the Lakers had those years too, but
they were never serious about it. They weren't winning like 20 games or anything. They were still kind of contending or whatever. Well,
but,
no,
yeah.
I mean in the beginning, like Kobe's last couple of seasons, they were winning about 17, 20 or
but
so
then
games.
we get calls from post game, like from people like the guy that just called, like, why are we tanking? Blah blah blah. Why are we doing this? Why we can't get superstars? Why can't we get Russell Westbrook? All these people.
All right, one more before we get to, and maybe we'll carry this over next. The idea of who the 9 guys should be in the rotation. But my man JJ, Belmont Shores, you're on Lakers Talk. What's up, JJ?
Hey, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I just wanted to I agree with Andy about the way Dalton Connect's being used, the way Timmy's being used, the way Rui's being used, and because it worked for Mark Few with Timmy and Rui, and he led the whole conference in scoring. When we're doing these last games of the season, why not run Mark Few's offense while they're in there to see what you got? Same thing with Dalton. What do you think, Andy?
I appreciate the call, JJ. They're not going to run Mark Few's offense.
That's right, baby. Gonzaga, let's go. Let's run that Zag offense.
They're not going to start running Mark Few's offense to try to spotlight Rui and Drew Timmy. Like that's simply Timmy.
It was outside the box thinking, though. Yeah.
I mean, that's like 20 miles outside.
Bring in Mark Few for the coaching staff.
That's
Let's go.
9 different zip codes away from wherever the box is located. That's too far outside the box. No, that's you cannot reasonably expect.
Trade for Jalen Suggs and
I wouldn't mind Jalen Suggs on this team.
Gonzaga reunion.
Let me tell you, if Jalen Suggs could stay healthy, and I know it's a big if with his career, but if he could stay healthy, he's like perfect alongside Luka.
Go get Nemhard.
Andrew Nesmith would be really good. Like some type of defensive guard, multiple positions that he can check, and also can space the floor. Jalen Suggs doesn't space the floor as much, but he can get in the paint.
And he's a really good defender.
He's really good, and he finally came home. You see, he lopped off.
He let it go.
Yes, he did. And it was necessary.
He came home.
It was necessary for him to come home. I'm sorry. And I can say this. I've been there. At some point, man, you just got to come home. It was long overdue for Jalen Suggs.
Yeah, it was. It was, yeah.
As proud as I can be of somebody I've never actually met before, I am proud of Jalen Suggs. All right, coming up next, we are going to get into who we think the 9 guys in JJ's playoff rotation should be, and also some comments from Brian Windhorst about the Lakers offseason and where LeBron fits into it. That's all coming up next. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN.
Full and cold-blooded. The Lake Show play here.
Tomorrow, the clock is ticking on the regular season.
Mark Few's offense.
The road to the playoffs begins.
Ahead to Reaves. Alley-oop, LeBron! Slam dunk, highlight play of the month!
And now, it's a Western Conference heavyweight clash. Lakers, Warriors from the Bay Area. Coverage begins tomorrow at 5:30 p.m.
This is...
Even by JJ standards, he was hammered.
ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Decisions determine results. So which path do I want to take? Help people in need or stand on the sidelines watching? Worry about how to pay for school?
I don't know if you heard me, but I said to Funchy, one day we're going to learn that's actually JJ Redick.
My decision is to serve part-time with the Army National Guard, and my results will be life-changing. What will you decide? Go to NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Sponsored by the California Army National Guard. Aired by the California Broadcasters.
Harry Douglas here. Game day brings the excitement. Your stay should feel just as memorable. With Marriott Bonvoy, official hotel partner of the NCAA and U.S. Soccer, you're connected to a portfolio of brands designed for how you travel. Some offer complimentary breakfast, others give you room to spread out, space to stay productive, or extended stay comforts. So whether you're a traveling fan or part of the team, Marriott Bonvoy celebrates the moments that live on before and after the game. Marriott Bonvoy, where game day checks in. Harry Douglas here. Let me ask you something. What if you can enjoy the taste of a cocktail, the warmth of a spirit, and still stay fully in control? That's RK Zero Proof, a pioneer in the alcohol-free spirits category. RK delivers bold flavor and a real warming sensation with zero alcohol, zero sugar, zero carbs, and zero calories. Perfect for nights out, social gatherings, or anytime you want the experience of a drink without sacrificing tomorrow. Check it out at rkbeverages.com. That's ARKAY beverages.com. RK, all the flavor, none of the alcohol.
Mason in Ireland.
So at Pizza Hut in Canada, you now have an additional option. You know, you can always get cheese in the crust, right? They are doing hot dogs in the crust. I think it's real.
I try it.
The OGs of LA Sports Radio.
If you're eating pizza, who the hell cares, right? Put as many toppings on as you want, as much cheese as you want.
Strongly
hot dogs
disagree.
and cheese in the crust. It doesn't matter. There's no such thing as healthy pizza.
Pizza is sacred. It's one of the most beautiful, wonderful creations that we have on this earth.
Okay.
Is pizza.
Yeah, I am pro evolution. I'm in favor of the evolving nature of pizza, which
what is
can now
enough,
include
Mason?
both
What is enough?
cheese and hot dogs in the crust. So, by the way, is there a better stoner food in the world than hot dog crust pizza?
Mason in Ireland, weekdays at noon on 710 ESPN, the all-new ESPN LA app, and live on YouTube.
All the latest surrounding the Lake Show, right here on Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky.
Lakers Talk is presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. Visit HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com to get the help you need today.
Now back to Lakers Talk with Andy Kamenetzky.
Funchy knows my music. Funchy knows. I love Talking Heads. Absolutely love Talking Heads. Stop Making Sense. Might be the greatest concert film ever. Late Jonathan Demme, who...
I watched the David Byrne Broadway show. I didn't go to the Broadway show, but I watched it, on TV or whatever. It was really good.
He's so great, man. I love Talking Heads. Love David Byrne.
Tom Tom Club.
Yeah, actually, the Tom Tom Club, they performed that song during Stop Making Sense. Like, if you've never seen Stop Making Sense, even if you're not a Talking Heads fan, I recommend it just because...
And that concert was in L.A., right?
Yes. It was in L.A. I want to say, I may be wrong, I want to say it was at the Henry Fonda Theater.
That sounds about right.
I may be incorrect. I know it was in L.A. I recently learned that when I saw Stop Making Sense most recently. I actually saw it during its theatrical re-release. It's just awesome. Like, it's up there with The Last Waltz about the band or Prince Sign of the Times. It's just great stuff. Before we get to our votes for the 9 in JJ's playoff rotation, got to take a call from Solomon in Lake Balboa. You're on Lakers Talk. What's up, Solomon?
Hey, I'm good, Andy. Always nice talking to you, man. You are so tuned. You're so tuned into the Lakers. I really appreciate having you on and listening to your takes. A couple of questions. people are saying, well, now that Luka and Reaves have gone down, and LeBron is still, and it's also kind of gimpy, that next season, forget it. He's now for sure he's not coming back. I still wouldn't be so quick. Depending on the price you can get, why not have a player still the caliber of a LeBron James is beyond me. Why you wouldn't want that on your team.
Well,
and secondly, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, finish.
And then real quick, secondly, on the injuries, a lot of wishful thinking out there. I've read up grade 2 injuries, grade 2 strains like that in the oblique and in the hammy. Normally, 3 to 6 weeks. This is not something that you're just going to turn around real quickly, no matter how much wishful thinking you have. So, just curious about your feelings on both of those comments.
Well, we'll get to the LeBron piece of this hopefully before we get into crunch time. But
okay,
like we talked about before, and I appreciate the call there, Solomon. With Luka, he's getting this treatment in Europe, in Spain, we believe, that is going to, at least in theory, speed up that recovery process because you're doing things that you can't do in the States to try to essentially heal that muscle and get yourself able to play again. As long as there is not somewhere between like a 0 to 5% chance at most about the potential of turning this into a worse injury than it already is, I understand why Luka would be doing this. There's no guarantee, by the way, that Luka doing this will get him back on the court. But if nothing else, I think Laker fans should be excited by the idea that it means enough to Luka that he's looking to do this, that like he cares enough and recognizes the responsibility of being the franchise face of the Lakers, that he's going to go overseas to get these injections, the stem cell, PRP, and at least attempt to speed up this process because he does not have to do this, and nobody would have expected him to do it, but he wants to. So I think that's something Laker fans should be excited about. As far as the other piece of this with LeBron and re-signing him, Brian Windhorst was on the morning show with Cappy and Sedano and talked about the potential offseason and where LeBron fits into this. He had a really interesting take on it.
LeBron's cap hold is enormous. LeBron's cap hold is like 60 or 65 million.
Right.
Okay? So the Lakers have to deal with LeBron first. And this is going to be kind of difficult because is LeBron going to know on June 15th what he's going to do for next year? Okay, let's say he wants to play. How much are you going to play for? Because the Lakers either have to sign LeBron to a new contract or renounce his rights to get rid of that $65 million. They've either got to have LeBron, what are you going to play for next year? You're going to play for 30? Okay, good. You've got 30. Now you're cap hold. Now you're going to be for 30. Now we've got that other 35 to do stuff with. LeBron, you don't know what you're going to do next year? We got to sign these players. I'm sorry, LeBron. We're going to have to renounce your rights. Good luck to you. Now his cap hold 0, but they can't then go over the cap to re-sign him.
Can they renounce his rights, go sign other guys, and then sign LeBron to the lower number later?
No.
Why not?
Because once you renounce the rights, you don't have the ability to exceed the salary cap to sign your player.
Well, I mean, I would say that to Cappy's question about whether or not they could still do that, sign LeBron, it would depend on how much space is actually left. Like they could sign LeBron into whatever cap space they have left. I'm assuming that Brian Windhorst thought that after these other signings, whoever they theoretically are, there simply wouldn't be enough cap space to entice LeBron to sign in the first place. Obviously, something like an exception, whether a full mid-level, mid-level, something like that could be an option for LeBron. I understand where Windy's coming from in terms of especially wanting to get that number from LeBron right off the jump, which I also agree with him. I would be surprised if on July 1st LeBron had made up his mind, whether you're talking about where he wants to sign or the number. But I actually think, DeAndre, Funchy, you guys can disagree if you want, I actually think LeBron has to be the last priority in terms of how they look to build this, not the first. Because even if you know LeBron's number, let's just say 30, which for the record I think is too high, but let's just say whatever that number is, you need to, in my opinion, devote that cap space first and foremost towards future forward building. Because this is the most optionality and blank slate that you're going to have to build around Luka in his prime, a roster that makes as much sense as you can around him for a while. I don't know if you're going to have this opportunity for a while, specifically if you're looking to sign some guys with permanence and to keep them around as opposed to just one-year deals, things like that, which I really hope they avoid. They need some continuity. They need to have guys together. LeBron's going to be 42 next year. And he's playing really well this year, and kudos to him. And for real, kudos to him for accepting this role, the asks, everything. He still has to be, in my opinion, more of a back burner item, or more of a back burner priority. Item is, I don't like that choice of words because that's just not fitting of somebody like LeBron. Bad word choice on my part. But priority. He needs to be more back burner because they need to be using that space, earmarking that space first on guys who would be part of a future with Luka, presumably Austin. Agree, disagree, you guys?
I think in essence you're turning LeBron from a side dish to a condiment. Is that what it is?
Well, it could be a pretty pricey condiment.
Yeah, it could be.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
we're talking
truffle,
some serious
right? It could be some truffle, right? It could be some truffle, right?
This ain't mayo. This is like aioli. I don't want
pesto, baby.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, I took issue with myself referring to LeBron as an item. I didn't call him a condiment.
No,
man.
I'm just saying though. Like I feel like you're saying like we should take the priority away from LeBron early and make him more like a condiment instead of like a side dish. That's what I'm trying to make.
Maybe more cherry on top of the sundae.
All right then.
I mean, like, I don't want to reduce LeBron to, like, ketchup, man. That's weak.
Some salt and pepper?
And relish. Nobody likes relish.
Horseradish.
I do like horseradish, actually.
I agree with you, though, as far as not making him the priority. But, we were talking about it on the DeMarco and Travis show, and it seems like they need to get that deal done with him first in order to progress to get other guys they need to fulfill on this roster. And I was explaining.
By that, do you mean you think LeBron being on the roster will get other guys to join?
No. Just by how the salary cap and how the renounce rights and how that works is that if he I gotta listen back to it, but it's just in the lines where if he was to take this much amount, it wouldn't necessarily allow them to get the right piece that they need to build amongst the roster around Luka Doncic and, like you said, presumably Austin Reaves. I said that present a plan to LeBron, meaning give him the plan of, hey, these are the guys that we're going to get. We're going to get this type of 3-and-D guy. We're going to get this type of guy. We're also going to acquire this big man because we feel like this is going to be best not only for the present but also for the future alongside Luka Doncic because we need to start this plan now.
Yes.
And then by you presenting that plan to LeBron and him getting the understanding that there is a plan, and he knows that he is not going to be that maximum contract player. There's no way in hell he's not sitting there and not thinking like he understands.
There's no team that could pay LeBron a max deal that it would be worth joining. Like there's no team that has that type of cap space. Like unless LeBron's had some burning desire to do a farewell tour with the Nets. Like there's no team that would be worth his while to do
Brooklyn,
that.
baby.
Like no
we
team.
We live in Brooklyn, baby.
No team that would be competitive enough to make this worth it for LeBron can pay him in the $50 million range. I don't think that will be possible.
So if he were to by presenting that plan and get him to understand, like, hey, we can't pay you this amount. But again, with the renounce rights and how that works and how long he's been with the team, the tenure, all that stuff sets in, correct? But still, if you go in there and give him the understanding that, hey, we help us out here so we can help you out. We can present this other things as far as you returning to the Lakers. And if you were to retire the season, not saying it's going to happen, but saying if you were to retire the season, we can do everything to make sure that you're set, but also that our roster is set for the present and also for the future. And if he doesn't come to an agreement with that, then it's okay. You can still find other ways to make sure that his situation is happy and make sure that Lakers are taking care of what they need to get done.
Okay, real quick, we talked about JJ saying he is looking right now to find his 9-man rotation for the playoffs. Health assumed there are 7 guys that I think are locks. LeBron, Marcus Smart, Rui Hachimura, DeAndre Ayton, Jackson Hayes, Jake LaRavia, Luke Kennard. Who am I missing? Really quick. LeBron, Smart, Rui, Ayton, Hayes, Jake. Who am I missing?
You said Kennard?
Kennard. Okay, so that's seven guys.
That's seven.
LeBron, Smart, Rui, Ayton, Hayes, Jake, Luke Kennard. Do you guys agree those seven are locks?
Yes.
Locks.
Yeah, I would be stunned and, frankly, quite confused if any of those seven were not rotation locks for the playoffs. Who do you guys think the other two rotation players should be? DeAndre.
Vanderbilt.
Okay.
And I honestly, just seeing what he was doing in the OKC game and his athleticism, but JJ just doesn't trust him.
Again, not will be, should be.
I think I do Theo, yes. Because I get it, you're throwing the Bronny experiment and throw him in a couple, but his size and athleticism, that's something that you just can't just push aside.
Bunchy. Who do you think it should be?
It's going to be Vandy, obviously, and Maxi Kleber.
Maxi Kleber. That's who you think the ninth guy should be.
I think he should. Got to go with the veteran. The veteran has a stroke.
He has not had a stroke in like 3 years.
Man, I haven't seen him shoot that rock in a minute.
Maxi Kleber right now looks as unexcited.
He be dunking. He can dunk.
Every time he dunks, he gets injured. That man cannot dunk. Like, he can dunk. I'm saying he should not be allowed to dunk. Every time. Like, remember the last time Kleber
He sets a mean screen, though.
He does. He sets a mother of a screen.
That's what we need.
That might be, he actually is a pretty good, I think, positional and team defender. And
you don't have a lot of playmakers that can separate, so you're going to need a screener.
Okay, I am in agreement with you guys. The eighth guy has to be Vando. Like, at this point, I don't care what reluctance JJ has, reservations about Vando. Vando is the most proven NBA player among all these guys. Like, it has to be Vando. The ninth guy, I tend to agree Funchy has this right, that it's going to be Maxi Kleber. I agree with DeAndre, though. I actually would like to see it be a Adu Thiero, and I get that all of the minuses for Thiero, inexperience, the rawness, the unpredictability, the mistakes that can kill you in the playoffs, like mistakes crush you. Even small mistakes can be a big deal. But the flip side is the same unpredictability that you don't want in the playoffs from your rotation and your players, and coaches hate unpredictability. I kind of feel like the Lakers need a little bit of it. Like,
you don't have to play him these crazy minutes. Play him in spurts like they do Bronny.
10 minutes tops, like of a Adu Thiero. But like that athleticism, the physicality, he could maybe get some people in foul trouble just by attacking, like going at the rim, like the energy. Like, I don't want to make too much out of a small sample size versus OKC, but you watch him going like he could maybe create 4 minutes of chaos that I think could be useful as long as you kept the chaos somewhat controlled and put some players around him that really are mistake-free. Like, you got to put some of the most mistake-free players around Thiero. I kind of agree with DeAndre. He's the riskiest play of all of them, but he also brings some stuff that I think could be interesting. All right, we are going to close out, as always, with Crunch Time. Funchy's got the topics. DeAndre and I will weigh in. Lakers talking into Kamenetzky, 710 ESPN.
Hey, everybody, it's Cap. Inheriting a home can be overwhelming, but Seller's Advantage makes it easy. One customer shared, and I quote, "Inheriting a home felt like too much work. Seller's Advantage gave us a reasonable offer, handled everything, and closed in 3 weeks. I highly recommend them." End quote. Skip repairs and headaches. Call Seller's Advantage at 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your free cash offer.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Providence Realty, DRE number 019-15-21-2.
Hey Rams fans, it's your quarterback Matthew Stafford here. The Rams and United Way of Greater Los Angeles are excited to bring Walk United LA to SoFi Stadium this year on Saturday, May 9th. Join me and my family for the 5K walk run and help support our Los Angeles community. Registration is now open at walkunitedla.org, where you can sign up for Team Rams and learn more. Our team is only as strong as our city, and this walk is about uplifting all Angelinos in need. I can't wait to see y'all at the Rams house on May 9th.
Call Jacob.
Listen, Cappy, I've been in an accident, you've been in an accident. It's a very traumatizing situation, okay? We've all been there. And the reality is, we tell people all the time because we would do it too, okay? When we get into an accident, we will call one person. We count on Jacob because Jacob is the man you can trust. He's been doing it for people in LA for nearly 3 decades.
Right. 1-800-345-6789. That's how you call Jacob. And by the way, we talk about car accidents a lot. It's not just car accidents. You could be in a grocery store and slip and fall. You could be walking across the street as a pedestrian and get hit by a car. You could be on a motorcycle and you could get hit. It's not just purely being in a car accident. Any kind of an accident, that's why you call Jacob.
Right, and I counted on Jacob when the insurance company changed their tone with me. I'm like, whoa. You know what? I don't think I need to talk to you. I think I need to call Jacob. That's when I counted on Jacob, Cappy.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob. 1-800-345-6789. Call Jacob.
It's crunch time on Lakers Talk.
When the clock is ticking and it's all coming down to the wire, you know what that means.
This is crunch time.
Real quick before we go to crunch time, seeing a tweet right now, Jalen Green may have gotten hurt tonight for the Suns.
Whoa.
Seeing right now, and this was retweeted by the guy, Dwayne Rankin, who covers the Suns for the AZ Central. And Jalen Green looks like left the game early, limped to the locker room. So we'll see what happens.
They said Jalen Green heads to the locker room with a limp after tweaking something.
Oof, man, talk about guys who can't catch a break. Jalen Green just keeps getting hurt. So we'll see what comes of that. But anyway, Funchy, what you got for us?
All right. Yesterday, I was in my office, and I had to sit down and eat a big sandwich while I read this article by Shams entailing what's going on in Milwaukee. I had to bring out, it was almost like I had popcorn. It was so big and, You
became that meme?
I became that meme, dude, yes. And it was very interesting. Highlights from the articles, saying that, the Milwaukee are very reluctant to trade Giannis at first. They didn't want him to play, obviously. And also, Doc Rivers was highlighted in this article too, getting on his players and also saying, Google me one day to his players in the locker room.
Are you not familiar with my resume?
Yeah, that's what he did.
Google, but only Google 2008.
And also, I believe there was also
Don't Google 3-1.
There's also a story in there that Kyle Kuzma spoke up in, for the kids in the locker room, basically, and he got a DNP CD the next game because he did that.
Wow. It's like spoke up against
Giannis? He spoke up against Doc Rivers because Doc Rivers was giving the kids a hard time, was being too hard on him.
We each have one title, Kyle Kuzma, but my title matters more than yours.
But, from this article, you get that the Giannis and Milwaukee divorce is going to happen very, very, very soon. I'm going to ask you two gentlemen, let's just say in 4 months from now, where is Giannis going to be at? I'll start with you, Andy.
Miami Heat. They were a team that was rumored to be very into...
Actually, Shams in an article said that they were really ready to give up Tyler Hero and I think Ware and a couple picks for
I think Khalil Ware, if I'm Milwaukee, I'm looking most for picks and young players.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want as many moldable young players in the form of future draft picks or current young players as possible. Khalil Ware could be a very good player.
Good.
He could be a very good player. I don't know if they're going to be able to get a better young player than Khalil Ware. Like, for example, the Knicks have been rumored to be connected to Giannis. I don't know who the Knicks can offer
That's
Giannis.
What I was going to say. And Giannis wants to go. I've heard Giannis wants to go there the most. And, what are the Knicks going to offer?
Get rid of Mikal Bridges. Get rid of Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, Milwaukee doesn't want Mikal Bridges.
That's part of the problem is unless those guys are getting rerouted somewhere else for young players and prospects, or Milwaukee, I guess, thinks they will eventually be able to flip Mikal Bridges, in 6 months or whatever. What good does Mikal Bridges do the Bucks? What? He doesn't help them in a rebuild. So I'm predicting Heat. DeAndre?
Man. I don't know. I don't want Giannis to go to the West. I want him to stay in the East because I feel like that would be the likely route for him to get to a championship if that's what he's seeking. I don't agree with AK. I'm going to go with Miami because Miami is a good destination. You can pair him alongside Bam Adebayo. They got Norman Powell. They probably most likely will keep Andrew Wiggins. And they got Tyler Hero. I don't know if they're going to try to shop off.
Well, Tyler Hero is, I believe, a Wisconsin native.
He's got to go.
So you can get people excited by that. You know, he can put up some points. You know, maybe where
he's from Milwaukee. He's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I think he is.
I'm not like a Miami kid.
I think he's from like Kenosha or somewhere like that.
Wow.
I think. Let me look this up real quick. He is from Milwaukee. He was born in Milwaukee and graduated from Whitnell High School in Greenfield, Wisconsin.
That makes sense then. Tyler Hero can take 30 shots a night up there.
Yep. And that
I just hope he's not playing with Glenn Rivers. I mean, Doc, excuse me. I'm sorry.
I've always been a big fan of Tyler Hero.
For some reason, I think there's going to be like a sort of a mystery team that comes out of nowhere, you know, during the summer and kind of just swoops up on Giannis.
I wonder if it could be. We've seen the Raptors do this before.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it, and I heard they have direct flights from Toronto to
I would not trade
Greece.
Scotty Barnes. I would not do that, but
man, don't get those Toronto taxes, man. Stay away from out there.
Well,
they will get you.
The story last summer was that Giannis was just trying to find a place that has direct flights to Greece, and New York was one of them. So.
Yep. Yes, all of us right now are Googling Miami International Airport or whatever it's called, direct flights to
Toronto,
Greece.
I think Toronto has direct flights from Toronto to Greece.
And it's a very, very international country. Like, you know, it's got very international communities.
It's a melting
in Toronto.
pot.
Yeah. I've never been. I've heard it's an awesome city.
Me too. Heard it's really cold, but it's like a really cool city.
Well, he's been playing in Milwaukee his whole career. By now, he's got to be used to cold. I don't know if he likes it, but used to it.
Pair him alongside John Morant.
Send him to Memphis.
Yeah, bro, imagine this. Oh, real quick. Ja going to Miami with Giannis. Ooh, let's go.
Ooh, oh, man.
No.
Miami taking a chance on Ja Morant.
That's what I just said. No, can't do that.
Ja Morant in South Beach, that could get a little dicey. I want to thank Harrison Faigen, Silver Screen Roll, SB Nation for dropping by. Obviously, everybody calling, everybody watching, everybody listening. Bunchy, DeAndre, the kids in the back with the social media. We will be back next week. Lakers Talk, Andy Kamenetzky.